right. So this was not what we had planned for this evening. Obviously, we were going live tonight because we were going to cover Trump speaking, and we'll still get there, obviously, whatever he presents in front of the joint Congress. But then some.
Okay, so yeah, this isn't what I had planned either. Because yesterday this happened and I was watching the Trump inauguration. What is all this noise? It's always noise outside. I was watching a Trump address, right? And then Andrew Tate, I found out, was, all of a sudden Florida opens up some sort of prosecution on him, threatening to arrest him. Like, it's ridiculous. So we're gonna talk about why. I'm gonna let Candace explain what made them do this, or excuse me, what are the charges, get some reaction from him, and then I'll show you some comments.
News broke on X that,
so you guys know, it's like the tip of my nose. That's like, because I'm not going to edit this. I'm not doing this on the fly. So just the tip of my nose is scratching. What does that mean? I'm going to get some money or something? Okay, all right.
At Florida, and I thought it was a joke. I thought I was being pranked, that Florida has decided to move to criminally investigate Andrew Tate. Now, Andrew Tate is joining us, and I just want to at first give you guys the background here because it's egregious what happened here. I don't care about your opinions about Andrew Tate. I don't care if you think he's a misogynist, if he's a sexist, if you think he's a racist. None of that actually matters, okay? Because you think about what would be the circumstance if Trump traveled to.
Okay, yeah, we know. So right, I don't really necessarily need her full opinion on this. I already know her opinion. It's probably going to be close to mine. So anyway, I need the facts from her right now.
Here, he's a U.S. citizen. He's a U.S. passport. He's welcome here. Okay, he hasn't been charged of any crimes overseas, irrespective of what you think about him. Of course, he's welcome here. And so Ron DeSantis says that, and literally a couple of days later, the Attorney General announces that, yes, in fact, and can we pull that tweet up, Skylar, if you got it? He tweets this tonight. He tweets, last week, so yes, literally at the moment that neocons started freaking out in the state of Florida, I directed my office to work with our law enforcement partners to conduct a preliminary inquiry into Andrew and Tristan Tate. Now you're going, is this Stalin tweeting this, Candace? Is this in America?
Okay, we don't need to, let's get back to here. Let me help you out. Based on a thorough review of the evidence, I've directed the Office of Statewide Prosecution to execute search warrants and issue subpoenas in the now active criminal investigation into the Tate brothers. Now, I'm going to tell you the first sentence here. Last week, I directed my office to work with our law enforcement partners to conduct a preliminary inquiry into Andrew and Tristan Tate. This is a surveillance type of investigation. This, I would imagine, falls into FISA court, and we will discuss how the same thing can happen to you, okay? Because we're going to use this to educate the people that the same thing can happen to you, all right? All right. Let me see, because again, all right, so we have here where she's playing around DeSantis. We'll use that. Sorry, my eyes.
Way to Florida. Is he welcome here? What could the state do to send him back to Romania or whatever?
Well, we have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media. Clearly, the federal government has jurisdiction, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Christy Ngo, that they will be looking at that. I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have to be able to deal with this. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening.
I want you to know when he says Florida is not a place for this kind of conduct, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of what Epstein did, a lot of this was happening in Florida as well, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? All right. It is absolute hypocrisy to the highest level. You do not have to like Andrew Tate. Matter of fact, move Andrew Tate even out of your mind, even though I am obviously talking about his case. because I want you to know it could happen to you. Like I need you to know that. Like if you don't take anything else from this today, is that this is actually about you. Okay?
Hunts.
Yeah, I believed it was the land of the free and the home of the brave. And I was extremely disappointed when I landed. I'm not intimidated by these people because I don't even know what jurisdiction they believe they have. I think this is the second time I've been to Florida in my life. Before this, I was here for 3 days. So I don't know what they're intending, but I am extremely disappointed. I am genuinely disappointed that after flying to my home nation, the country I was born in, the country my father served for, the country I hold the passport of, they've decided, because of media spin and slurs, to instantly attack me. And very correctly, as you pointed out, this is not a matter of trying to solve a crime. They can't even identify a crime. They're just trying to pin something on me because they don't like me. And what happened when I landed is that as I left the airport, my electronics were seized, which I'm assuming are the search warrants he's talking about. So my phones and laptops were already seized before I even saw the media. The second I landed, state police took all of my electronics, took everything, and told me there was an open investigation into me. I guess this is the search warrants he's talking about. So if you pull back up his tweet, it's very interesting. He says, based on preliminary investigations. Well, the preliminary investigations, there we go. Last week, I directed my office to work with our law enforcement partners to conduct a preliminary inquiry into Andrew and Tristan Tate. That's not true, because you didn't even know I was coming to Florida. So that is a lie, sir. What you did is you found old YouTube videos I made, which I have debunked 1,500 times. But of course, the enemy always ignores the debunk and just continues to play them on repeat over and over. Use them as an excuse to seize all of my electronics on landing. I am now in Florida. They have all of my electronics, and I guess they're going through it, trying to find a crime. I'm very confident they won't. But we also know how ridiculous prosecutors can be. So here I am expecting to be welcome in my host nation. And it turns out they're the Stasi. This is worse than Romania. This is communism in and of itself. I'm truly disgusted. And if I be honest,
it's not funny, man. None of this is funny, but it's like, and it turns out they're the Stasi. Bro, this is insane to me. It's not insane in the sense of like, oh my God, I can't believe they did this. It's insane to me that most people are going to think he deserves this. And I'm like, yo, man, you got to remove your personal feelings about people that you're not going to have dinner with and understand that they are exercising a certain kind of, lawfare that they can do to you too. That's what, like, please be selfish about this.
There's a lot of rumors flying around. I got a phone call from somebody very important who told me that the DeSantis crew are extremely worried that I was going to support Byron against his wife in the Floridian governor elections. I'm new to this. I don't know anything about Floridian politics. I didn't even know DeSantis and Trump didn't get along. I didn't know any of this. I'm just a man after 3 years who flew home. And everyone's telling me that you're a political pawn and you can motivate and activate the masculine youth and you're going to get them all to vote against his wife. And that's why they're trying to take you out politically because Trump supported the guy against his wife. And this is brand new to me. So I'm just in the middle of this being told that I'm the one who's going to be deciding the next governor of Florida with no idea what's even going on. It's truly, truly incredible.
It is incredible. And it's interesting that you say that because I never supported DeSantis for president. I just saw right through him. It was very obvious to me that he was not his own man, which is to say that he moves according to what his donors want. And because every single person that I don't respect, meaning the neocons who have never supported Trump, got behind DeSantis and were passionate about him or fighting for him, made me go, you know what, that's a man that I can't trust. I don't know who's running that campaign or who's running his ideas, but it's not Ron DeSantis, okay? Yeah. And so what I think happened was as soon as you landed, because we saw it happening live on X, I mean, neocons were saying crazy stuff. They were saying deport him. I'm like, what do you mean deport? We didn't even deport Jeffrey Epstein. And he got like convicted of crimes. By the way, I should mention in Florida, when he just got house arrest for actually crimes against minors. That all happened in the state of Florida. And I have never seen that same group of neocons radically speaking about Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, I'll tell you this. We're not going to call them neocons here. We will call them what they are. More than likely, they are Israeli Jewish spies in America who Epstein was working for Israel. So, there's that. Why would they call for any kind of, files given and all of that about Epstein? Okay. So the thing about me is I'm not Candace Owens. Okay. I'm none of these people. And the only reason why I'm going to be careful not to say certain names too many times is to just not trigger anything. But I'm going to give you the truth of why Andrew Tate is going through all of this, okay? I am not saying that Andrew Tate is a model. Okay, whoa, what did I say? I'm not giving disclaimers. Let's get to the crux of this, okay? There is a conflict happening in the Middle East, one called a genocide, okay? Now, he is on the opposite side of the likes of Ben Shapiro, okay? I'm not saying Ben Shapiro is, has anything to do with this. I want to be very clear. I'm just giving an example of the kind of people that I'm talking about, okay? People who are that nation first rather than America first, okay? And I'm not saying anything crazy. Tucker Carlson said everybody know what it is, okay? And if you don't know by now, and if you feel some type of way, I don't know what to tell you, okay? But a lot of these donors are very focused on that little area, okay? The Adelsons, a lot of these people. So is DeSantis. DeSantis is very much a Catholic Zionist. That is a fact, okay? He is. Now, coming back to it, this person, for everything that he has said and done or whatever, is a controversial figure because no matter how brash he is, there are people who do listen to him, okay? Now, the thing is, to conduct a preliminary investigation on somebody means that you're going to start developing. There's something called FISA court warrants, things like that. I was in a debate about it because Speaker Mike Johnson, there was a time last year, I believe, when the FISA court, this is going to make sense. We're going to go to Twitter and look at some reactions. When Speaker Mike Johnson, he renewed the FISA court warrants. What is the FISA court warrants? FISA court warrants is, you don't know that the government is investigating you and has tapped your phone, and all of that because they believe that you are part of some terroristic act. Okay. Now I can't say terrorists anymore. Now, if they believe, they go to a judge and say, we have a feeling that Casey is involved in terror acts. Now, what can make you involved in terror acts? Well, even if you what if I was like half Egyptian or something? I'm not going to say Egypt because Egypt is connected to America. So what if I was half Iranian and I had a grandmother that I was sending money to in Iraq, right? Because I love my grandmother, right? That they could find a way to make it sound like I'm working with Terry's, okay, and sending money for something that's going to be a problem in America. And then they turn around and now they're investigating me. I mean, who knows if it's already not happening. I've been on spaces with Andrew Tate's lawyer. I've talked to him before, asked him about stuff. I mean, these allegations on the man has been dropped. No matter how you like it or don't like it, it's been dropped.
This is actually interesting. So let's analyze this. Free speech. This is an interesting conversation because America believes it has free speech. It doesn't. But every single country in the world has things you cannot talk about. Every single country in the world has off-limit topics. Mm-hmm. In Russia, it's Putin. In the Middle East, it's Islam. In Turkey, it's Erdogan. If you talk against them, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Okay. Do you know what the American one is?
What, speaking out against the Dems?
Speaking out against the Jews. If you speak out against the Jews in America, you're going to get in a lot of trouble.
Then we have Nick Fuentes saying, Republicans can't claim to defend free speech while simultaneously using government to punish American citizens for criticizing Israel. Sooner or later, this contradiction must be confronted. And then he drops off a little information here. Heritage Foundation is openly plotting to use counterterrorism, immigration, and hate speech laws to go after anti-Semites. In almost every state, government contractors are banned from boycotting Israel. And now Trump admin is using the DOJ to crack down on protests. And this is a problem. This is something that, like, we can't keep acting like is not happening. And I'll tell you this, I'm not the one who's here to pretend like it's not happening, because it is happening. And I do you a disservice to keep to sit here and push it under the rug. This is happening. This is America. I have been on record saying abolish racism, abolish all this, bust on everybody, whoever, talk about whatever you want. I told y'all, if there were a group, if people were saying you can't talk about Haitians, I'd be the first Haitian to get up and tell you, go talk about Haitians. Okay, so this is like the same values and the same principles for everybody. And that's just what it is, okay? This is America. And this channel is about the inconvenient truth. And that's what I'm dropping tonight, because you deserve the inconvenient and transparent truth. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.